Okay, and we're live, and we're going to be talking about Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk just got killed today, and for some reason, people think that he. Everybody is saying, "Oh, this is sad. This is a senseless act," and it's not a senseless act. Charlie Kirk and like many other people have done nothing but incite violence. So what do you mean this is an act of, like you're shocked for what? So let's look at his the news report for today, and he just he just was we'll look at his channel, but let's take a look at the news report of him getting killed. So he initially got shot, but it says here that there's a manhunt underway. CNN, let's see. So manhunt underway after conservative activist Charlie Kirk shot dead on Utah campus. Now, Utah, if you don't know, Utah is one of those states where it's a red state, and they have very conservative views. So I don't know, they have turned this on the left, which because they don't have any other brain cells left in their head. So the only thing they can do is blame anybody other than them because they don't have the capacity to think about anything else other than blaming. So let's take a look at this news report.
All of a sudden, I heard this one pop. Saw Charlie all of a sudden, like, his head kind of fell back, and blood was just gushing out of his neck. And then at that point, I kind of turned my head to look uphill because it felt like it came from up behind me. And then I saw everybody dropping, so I dropped down. And then the next thing you know, they said run, so we all took off running.
We heard two pops, and we ran. And a lot of people ran with us. When I was standing by the door, kind of overseeing what was happening, some people were standing there still taking videos. So I went back out to look over the railing to see like maybe someone just did some firecrackers, something like that. But more and more people were screaming, crying, dispersing super quickly from the scene. More and more people were headed Charlie's way. And yeah, just pure craziness. And then after getting back into the building, just tons of people flooding to go outside, get away from the scene.
Charlie hit the ground. We saw him fall, but it looked like the shot came and it hit, so he was facing us, and it looked like it hit the left side of his neck. To be perfectly blunt, it felt like so much blood came out of his neck immediately, and then we all took to the ground. I can't tell you almost what happened immediately after.
There was a handicapped person there that wanted a hat, and so I went trying to get Charlie's attention, and he saw me and he came right over and handed us that hat, and it was really very kind. I'm just sitting there watching. I think, wow, he's taller than I thought he was, and he's so energetic, and he's so happy, and he's throwing these hats out, and the crowd is just going nuts, and it was, a huge college crowd.
Yeah, so everybody is so upset all on Twitter. We're gonna go on Twitter and look at the tweets, but they're so upset, they're so confused as to what happened. Well, I'll tell you what happened. Charlie Kirk was an agitator. That's what the fuck happened. Charlie Kirk talked himself up on his own death with his dumb ass. But we're going to get into that. So let's go ahead and read some of the rest of the story. A conservative political activist, if you want to call him that, he's a MAGA agitator and a co-founder of Turning Point USA, which is basically a think tank for lunatics like MAGA. And he's died after being shot today at an event at the Utah Valley University. Now, again, this university, it's nothing but white people there. So I don't understand why they're immediately turning it to the left. Again, the only thing they know how to do is blame people because they don't have enough brain cells to process anything other than that. So authorities in Utah said there's an active investigation. A person who had been taken into custody for interrogation was released this evening. So there has been an outpouring of condemnation from both sides of the aisles to Kirk's death. Donald Trump the shit monster tonight described his death as a dark day for America. Not the fact that he was elected president and he's a convicted rapist. Not that. But that this racist asshole got killed. That's the darkest day for America. And he previewed a broader plan to crack down on political violence. And so at the end of the day, that is basically what the news is reporting. Now, let's go ahead and go over to this hearse because it was so senseless. It wasn't senseless. It wasn't senseless. He brought this smoke on, and then when he got the smoke, he clearly could not handle the smoke, and neither can y'all. So let's go ahead and go over here to Twitter. Now, Twitter, this is the actual the explore page. This is one of the things in here. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk was fatally shot during a speaking event at Utah Valley University in Orem, which is crazy because this is a name of, I believe that has something to do with the Greek mythology. Anyway, escalating concerns over political violence, the founder of Turning Point USA was addressing a crowd when gunfire struck him, leading to his death and drawing bipartisan condemnation from figures. Yeah, but look, so Barack Obama did also say something, so we'll go over his tweet, but I don't want to hear this, it's both sides crap. I don't want to hear that because it's not both sides. What it is MAGA and the Republicans, who all of the Republicans need their whole ass whooped for the bullshit that they got all of America in and the rest of the world, because they're lunatics, they're crazy, they're out of their mind. I believe, in my opinion, that MAGA needs to be checked for SMI. What SMI is? It's severely, it's a medical incompetent. So that means that you can't really actually function by yourself. These people, MAGA, need to be classified as SMI, and they need to be their rights need to be taken away because of it. Because at the end of the day, they're ruining the country because they're out of their mind. So this here, so the New York Yankees plays tribute to this racist fake Christian, because he's a fake Christian. He says that he was, but he had none of the fruit of the Holy Spirit, none of them. And I hate people who sit there and lie and say that they're Christian and they're not. He's a fake liar, and so is Candace Owens, but we're going to get to her too. So Barack Obama says, we don't yet know what motivated the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk, but this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. Michelle and I will be praying for Charlie's family tonight, especially his wife, Erica, and their 2 young children. Now, here's the thing. When you step into the political sphere, you already know that you're going to be a target. So I don't know why he would sit here and think that he was exempt from any of that. That's number one. Number two, you agitate people that aren't really even bothering you. So he agitates the Black community, he agitates Asians, he agitates everybody. So when you come back, and eventually that spiritual debt is going to come right back around and hit you, and you're going to have to pay it. Now, if you have not repented from this mess that you've been putting out, then obviously you have no currency to pay the spiritual debt. So that's what happened to this man. He had to pay up. So it says here, the FBI director, who looks like he's always hopped up on cocaine, says the subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you for the local and state authorities in Utah for your partnership with the FBI, and we will provide updates when available. So again, this guy looks like he's always coked up on cocaine or whatever, meth. I don't know what they have, because the government is known for dealing and allowing drugs into the country. So I don't know what he's got his hands on, but he always looks like he's on something. Anyways, punk ass Donald Trump Jr. says, this isn't my strong suit, and I don't even know how to begin to put this into words. The loss I'm feeling right now over the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk, and fuck you too, Donald Trump Jr. Fuck you too. Fuck Charlie Kirk, and fuck Donald Trump. This is what they destroyed today. Well, listen, I'm super happy that these girls won't have to actually listen to this particular person growing up. Like they'll still be growing up around hate because this country teaches hate that isn't somebody that is white, black, that isn't a white, straight white male. So if it's not a straight white male, then these two little girls are going to get taught to be to pour out hatred towards anybody that doesn't look like their dad. So I'm glad it's not going to be him directly, but they'll see some of the bullshit that he had on his Twitter and on his YouTube page. They'll see what type of person he was in the media, and I'm sure that they'll convert to them. And so we'll have a whole bunch to look forward to with this family, I'm sure. Anyways, the White House says the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all. No, not by all Donald Trump, because fuck Donald Trump and fuck Charlie Kirk. There's your all, asshole. Especially you. Now, Donald Trump is 2 seconds away from dropping dead, and I really wish it would have been him that this news was on, but we're on this here, so unfortunately we have to, take what we can. And let's go ahead and continue. Now, he is no longer with us. Melania, and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, whatever. Listen, Donald Trump is one of the world's worst betrayers of the American country that we've ever seen. He is the worst traitor to American history. Donald Trump is in cahoots with Vladimir Putin, and he's also in cahoots with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Jeffrey, all kind of people, including so Donald Trump, Putin has something on, but Putin and Trump have a long relationship that goes to the 90s. This man was hanging out with Putin over there in the Kremlin in the 90s. The Russian mafia was buying Trump's some of those condos that he had in Trump Tower so that they can money launder the money, so they can offload the money that they got illegally. So they would buy these condos and then sell them. Anyway, so JD Vance, Fat Boy Vance, says the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. So he's just basically retweeting Trump. But really, this is just a really good service that has been happening. The earth is tired of these piece of shit assholes on the earth ruining the lives of so many other people. You have so many Christians out here talking about Charlie Kirk, rest in heaven. We don't know where he's at. I think he's more than likely in hell just because of the asshole he was. But we can't sit here and act like Charlie Kirk had the fruit of the Holy Spirit. I'm actually a Christian, and I do not like it when people sit there and lie and sit there and say that they're Christian, but when they get up there, do you think, in your opinion, that if Jesus Christ was a president of the United States, that he would be taking the resources away from old people and from children and kicking out immigrants because he can't handle them, because he don't know how to handle immigrants, and messing up the economy because he don't know how to manage anything? Do you think that's what Jesus Christ would be doing? No. So at the end of the day, we are here with these assholes, and all of the Republican Party needs their asses whooped, and they need to get out of office. All of the Republican Party are trash, all of them. So this is punk ass Ben Shapiro. So let's go over his tweet. So like all of you, I'm utterly stunned and heartbroken and sick to my soul today. It is unimaginable to write these words. I met Charlie Kirk when he was 18 years old, a young man so eager and determined, and I immediately turned to a friend and said, that kid is going to be the head of the RNC one day. Well, I'm glad he's not. Charlie became even bigger and more important than that. It was a privilege to watch this principled man. Now, this is coming from people who have no moral compass. These are people that follow people like Richard Spencer, who said he doesn't care anything about morality. He just cares about winning. These are the people who want to kill people who have done nothing to them. These are the people who want to take resources out of the mouths of people who they share a country with, who are also contributing to the same system that they benefit from. These are the principal people that he's talking about, this principal man. These people are bloodsuckers. All they want to do is take, 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 take. So it was a privilege to watch this principled man stand up for his beliefs and create the single most important conservative political organization in America. But more importantly, Charlie was a good man. And all of us will miss him. And I can't imagine the pain of his beautiful young family. Well, look, I'm super happy that he's gone. I'm very excited. I can't wait until the rest of Trump's cabinet is peeled off too, and we'll be in a more peaceful place. Really, no Republican should ever take office ever again in all of America, because y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all never know what y'all doing. The subject is in custody today. So let's take a look at this guy. This guy is a whole piece of work. But you guys should go back to sleep, because we all know how y'all hate being woke. So let's look at this really quick. We know how they hate being woke. So y'all go back to sleep while the rest of y'all cabinet get peeled off.
Object of mockery. Yeah, I know that it's somewhat object of mockery to say thoughts and prayers, but thoughts and prayers for his family, and they need it from all of us. And Jesse's right. If they could do this, they are capable of anything. I think that was the message.
I don't know who they're talking about, because we don't know who it was. Mind you, nobody knows who it was that shot Charlie Kirk. They have a suspect, but they left that since we'll read up on it. But they've already released this suspect. They're actually still looking for the actual suspect. So, but they're already making their conclusions, because the only thing a Republican can do with their limited brain cells is think up fairy tales in their head and then spew them as if they're real news, because they actually don't have enough bandwidth to actually critically think. But let's go.
Yeah, I know that it's somewhat object of mockery to say thoughts and prayers, but thoughts and prayers for his family, and they need it from all of us. And Jesse's right. If they could do this, they are capable of anything. I think that was the message. I believe that was the message. It's really hard to radicalize Republicans.
Really?
You know, it's like,
you're a radical. I would say, look at this. You got your president on the front, right here, your idol, your little president right here. So I don't understand, what do you mean that y'all can't be radical? Y'all are nothing but radical.
we're not the radical type.
Yeah, you are.
But
that's the only, listen, the radical type came over here and stole this country. The radical type came over here and slaughtered the Native Americans. The radical type came over here and enslaved a bunch of Africans that they had nothing to do with in life. A bunch of radicals came over here and then tried to oppress people from gaining any type of gain that they were helped with in terms of building. Those are the radicals that you're talking about.
if you thought you were going to shut a movement down, you're going to get a rude awakening. You woke us the fuck up.
Oh, they're woke now. No, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Y'all are woke now?
And we will.
Oh.
Yeah, that it's somewhat.
See, here's the thing. They really, really do want to be us. They really do want to be black people. Look, you can't be woke if your life depended on it. You see right now, you see the energy. The only thing y'all know how to do is be a savage. The only thing y'all know how to do is be monsters. So let's take a look at this asshole, Candace Owens, because she's the other one that is a MAGA supporter. And so this is her post here. The University of Utah University students emailed her this photo of a person that was walking around the food court that they are working to identify. So basically they're saying that this person is the suspect. That looks like a MAGA person to me. That looks like a MAGA nut to me. And so this person is incredibly irresponsible of you to post photos of random people and then suggest as though they are tied to the murder of Charlie because he looks like a MAGA, because he looks like MAGA. If this man was black, there'd be no fucking problem. There'd be no. If he was black, this would be viral. this would be viral of the suspect. So they're saying that this person is the potential um, person that shot Charlie Kirk. But here's the thing. It says here, she can't process this. Everyone, please stop what you're doing and pray. I don't know who they prayed to Satan. So I guess it looks like Satan can't save a life. Looks like he can't do it. Because that's who y'all serve. That's who y'all serve is Satan. Looks like he don't know how to save a life, Candace Owens. You witch. Candace Owens is a witch. So y'all remember when Donald Trump got shot at 2 times, and it gained him some press, and it allowed him to become more dominant in position as far as running for president. Well, I feel like this is part of something like that. I believe that they probably, because I believe that, this is just my opinion and this is just alleged, I do believe that Donald Trump probably, his team, him or his team, probably orchestrated something like this. And I think that MAGA did this so that they could get the heat turned off of all of his cabinet, because a lot of them, and also other people that are in his cabinet, but billionaires and other important people that have a bunch of money that are making different moves with that money, they're all implicated in the Jeffrey Epstein files that released. And guess who is pressing to get those released? It's MAGA. So I do believe that Donald Trump has something to do with Charlie Kirk, him or his team, with getting killed. Now, that's just my opinion. That's my conjecture. That is alleged, but I do believe it because I think he faked his attempted shooting. I think those are faked. I think it was just a big political theater show. And they found people, because remember that the person worked for Blackwater. So it would be interesting to see if the person that they find, the actual suspect that they, not just a person of interest, but an actual suspect, are going to charge. It will be interesting to see what their ties are and where they go. Yeah, so let's, so that's Candace Owens talking about Charlie Kirk, the agitator. But it's because of his own words. Charlie Kirk said that he didn't care that there was gun violence. So then what's the problem when it happens to you? I don't understand. I just don't understand. But here's his thoughts on other people. So this
You were
is
trying
what
to
George
get the
Floyd,
officer who murdered.
This is what George Floyd.
You were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd pardoned, and I just want to know
Yes,
what your
ma'am.
reasoning was about that.
Well, George Floyd didn't die because of the police officer. He died largely because of a drug overdose.
But he had his knee on his neck. And we
Yeah.
all saw the video.
But the knee on the neck is actually an approved police technique that police departments taught Derek Chauvin to use. Do you know that George Floyd was saying, "I couldn't breathe," well before that restraining technique? And
So why'd they use the technique if he already couldn't breathe?
Right.
Well, because he was actually resisting arrest, and they
No,
had
he
to
wasn't.
restrain him. And
He
they
was
restrained him in a
not
way
a-
that
he
they were
was
taught
not
to
a-
do, which is the knee on the neck technique.
Okay, so when does the technique end? Like when they die? Like he said he couldn't
No,
breathe.
I mean the technique ends when the individual stops resisting arrest. His
When they
cause of
die.
death was not asphyxiation; it was drug overdose. He had
That was a part of it. Like he also had a heart thing, and he was on drugs. But he wouldn't have just died if he was standing there. Like they had his.
Well,
their
actually,
knee on
there's an
neck.
argument to be made. According to the medical examiner, he was drug overdosing in real time.
No, he
That it
wasn't.
wasn't because of the
Y'all
police
just make
officer,
up
Derek
some of the
Chauvin, that put
dumbest
his knee on
shit
the neck.
ever.
And again, they were taught to do
Well,
that. According to the Hennepin County Police Department,
Unfortunately, at the end of the day, Charlie Kirk died doing what he loved, bashing other people, other human beings, so that he could, lift himself up on and be this holier than thou human being, because, his shit didn't stink and nothing he did was ever wrong. So let's take a look at let's see, because it's still he's still trending. They're still so shocked. They're still so outraged that he's dead. Now look, Charlie Kirk also said, let's see here. This is, what the heck? Now that Obama crimes are being exposed, it's time to end the secrecy. You know what's so interesting is that these people used to be online 10, 12 years ago, even 15 years ago, talking about Burger Group and the Committee on 300 and Tavistock Institute of Human Relations and Alex Jones and like these are the same people that used to be talking about the government and Jade Helm, and these are those people. These are Candace Owens is one of those people. He's one of these people. He's these QAnon people. They used to be these people online 10, 12 years ago talking about the government is going to take over. And guess who the fuck end up being the government that's going to take over? Them. There's no fucking boogeyman. They are it. They're the boogeyman. They sit there and lied for years about being holier than thou. That's how I know they're not Christians. They're fake. I sit there and listen to them. They're fake ass, lying ass Christians. And this is the result of you being a liar. So Libs of TikTok. Declaring words not only dumb but incredibly dangerous. You might get views and likes on social media, but this only divides us further. And people in danger, no matter left or right, should be speaking like this. My thoughts on go out to Charlie Kirk's family. Well, Libs of TikTok. I don't know, but I'm not part of this particular thing. We have our own party. And we are not neither Democrat or Republican. But Charlie Kirk is dead. Guns do save lives. They save a bunch of lives from being targeted and with propaganda from this person right here, Charlie Kirk. Now, let's take a look at a video I thought I had. This is from the New York Post. That's crazy. Let me see. That's crazy. Look.
Oh my gosh.
This is the aftermath. Oh, that's him right there.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's him. And again, he is the one who egged this all on. He's the one that talked day in and day out. Him and Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is another one that's coming up. Nick Fuentes is another one that is. So let's see what Trump has to say, because I think he did speak about this. President Trump delivers remarks. Okay.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot.
No, he wasn't.
Devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with
I don't
his
know
wife,
about that.
Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache.
So Donald Trump doesn't pray to the God of the Bible. Donald Trump does not pray to the God of the Bible. God showed me this. God showed me that he does not pray to the God of the Bible. So I'm not in agreement with you in no prayer to no demon God, to no disgusting God. Absolutely not. Donald Trump is an occultist. Donald Trump is down with the soul selling activities. Donald Trump is the biggest traitor this world has seen in a very long time. Donald Trump does not worship Jesus Christ. So I don't know why he's talking about prayer. And I don't know why he's talking about Charlie Kirk like he worshiped Jesus Christ either. I don't know why these people seem to think that it's okay to use Jesus Christ, but they should use their own faith since they're so deep in it. Then why don't they use their own faith? I mean, this man is wrapped up in sex trafficking charges. This man raped a woman. And then before the rape, before he was charged and convicted of that rape of E. Jean Carroll, and there was another one that he was actually convicted of. Before he was convicted of that, his first time that he ran for president, he said there was nothing that he ever needed to repent from. Wild. That's a wild thing to say as a Christian. That's actually sacrilegious. It's blasphemy to sit there and say something like that. But this man said this, and then we go on to find out he raped someone. And not only that, he also said some disgusting things about women that I'm not going to repeat. But he don't have to repent from that either, apparently. And that he can still call himself a Christian. So I don't know what God it is that he's praying to, but it's definitely not God, because Christ showed me you're not worshiping him. You are not worshiping Christ. So I don't know who it is that you're talking about going. Nobody else gets to go through heaven except for through Christ. So that means Charlie Kirk is in hell. That's what that means. And you're next.
Pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever. To share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace.
Look, I'm sorry. I can't listen to too much of Donald Trump, because to me he's a fucking idiot that got by off of knowing by the fact that his dad was a person that had some connections. So I really don't actually, I can't stand on him. I can't do it. But anyway, that is the manhunt. It says is still underway. So they're trying to figure out who did this. I think that Donald Trump had something to do with it, because he wanted to take the heat off of the Epstein files. Also, nobody's talking about Donald Trump and the Epstein files. Nobody's talking about that. And all the people that we would be looking to get some information from are the ones coming out talking about this. Donald Trump actually makes an address from the Resolute desk in regards to this random person. That's wild. So yeah, I do think that he has something to do with, this murder. That's my opinion. I'm alleging that Donald Trump allegedly had Charlie Kirk killed. He's a close Trump ally. I wonder if this was a sacrifice for Donald Trump, because we know that they're into the occult. So this could be a sacrifice for Donald Trump. Unfortunately, this is how they all get down. 9/11 was a huge sacrifice for the U.S. war machine, the military war machine, the black ops part of it, the part that we don't actually get to see, the parapolitics. So I think that Donald Trump probably had Charlie Kirk killed for a blood sacrifice ritual. And the reason why is because they're trying to get the Republican Party in so that they can install fascism, so that they can install authoritarianism. They need sacrifices. So he was one of those. And he probably gave himself up. He probably didn't mind dying for this cause. He probably does not mind burning in hell for MAGA. I mean, this is how these people are. Because Donald Trump to them was their God. Let's make no mistake about that. Donald Trump was their God. So if Donald Trump died, if Charlie died for Donald Trump, to them that's an honor. They don't actually believe in Christ. This is why they don't actually do anything that Christ said. They do things that Trump tells them to do. That's what they do. So it says here, by the way, according to Charlie Kirk's logic, his death is his own fault, not the shooter. The deaths of women and children in Gaza are the fault of Hamas, not Israel, just like the deaths in Japan during World War II were the fault of Japan, not America. When a government engages in unprovoked, murderous aggression, they are to blame for everything that results. And I would agree with you, Charlie, there, that if you, when a person or a government engages in unprovoked, murderous aggression, they are to blame for everything that is, that happens from that. I would just say that. It says Charlie Kirk said black people were better off in slavery and subjugation before the 1940s. It was bad and it was evil, but they committed less crimes. So I don't want to hear y'all tears for real. But listen, Charlie, that slavery that we was in, I'm sure you're in it now. I'm sure you're in your own special type of hell. So at least you're not committing any crime. At least there's that. So let's go over some of the videos. So we're just going to be going live, just doing a reaction. Let's go over that surprise witness.
I would strongly encourage y'all.
I love her channel.
If you can avoid watching the video, the Charlie Kirk, especially the up close, I would strongly encourage you to avoid watching it because maybe you're just one of these sick people that like got a demon in you and you like looking at that kind of thing and it's like makes you happy. If it does, get off my channel. I rebuke. I don't agree with Charlie Kirk. This is so crazy to me, y'all, that we are still in it. It's like I'm talking to babies, not y'all. I know the ones that are here, y'all. Get it, but like people come trickling through. What I will say, and I'm not going to go into any details, and I will not be playing the video or redistributing it in any way to anybody because I think it's harmful and bad to watch, but we're going to read the updates of stuff. He got shot in the neck and it looked like it hit him in a whenever if you're a hunter or whatever and when you got the deer, like it hasn't been reported and miracles can happen, y'all, but
miracles,
it looked pretty instantaneous.
No, girl, he is gone. Bye. So like I said, Donald Trump is an occultist and so was this guy. They're all in the Secret Decoders Club. So let's be clear, they're all in that stupid ass Secret Decoders Club. And y'all know which one I'm talking about. So just make sure that you be careful, seriously about the things that you say about other people. Because at the end of the day, they will come back on you. But Charlie Kirk has died mostly because of his own things that he said about people. It's pretty weird that people are actually thinking that they're shocked at him actually dying. So many people who have tried to peacefully move the country forward, like Dr. King and Malcolm X, and just even more recent people, they have been killed and nobody cares. Nobody cares. But this piece of shit he gets killed, and everybody seems to think that, oh my gosh, don't bash him. The life he lived was trash. He was trash. And he's in the dirt now because of it. Well, that's been the rest of my show. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See you guys soon. Bye.